Hello and welcome to Maki's Closet. On today's tutorial, I'll be sharing with you a requested video of how to make a corset palazzo jumpsuit with side pockets. So if it's your first time viewing my channel, please hit on the subscribe button. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for supporting my channel. So let's start. So here is my front pattern and I've gone ahead to cut it. So on the B part, I cut out my pattern and I added ½ inch round, and I went ahead to iron wording to the main fabric. And after I did that, I went ahead to cut out the lining and I ironed gum stay on the lining. So I did this because of light issue, so I just had to iron when there was light. Moving over to the A pattern, I repeated the same thing, iron gum stay to my lining and wording to my fabric. You can as well use an already made cup. And on my main piece, I went ahead to match my pattern and I cut it out. So I'll be using my Ankara fabric as the lining also for the front pattern. So I'm just going to go ahead to open up my pattern and I'm going to show you what I have. So you're going to create boning on this pattern. But before that, we'll be working on our cups. So first thing, I'm going to be working on the main fabric and I'm going to be opening it up. And I'm also going to take the B part of my cup also and I'm going to open it up this way. So this part facing here and this part facing here. So the next step I will be taking is placing these together and I'm going to stitch with half. Place this also and stitch with half. So whatever I do on the main fabric, I'll do to the lining also. So I'm done joining my cups and this is what I have right now, and you're going to go ahead to notch your cup. If you're using an already made cup, you're just going to go ahead to attach it with a hemming gum or stitch it to the cup at this point. So I'm just going to notch my cups so that it's going to be relaxed. And also go ahead to iron your cup with your tailor's ham, and if you don't have one, I have a video of how to make a tailor's ham. It's very important to use it to iron out your cup when you're sewing a corset or bustier. So now I'm just going to go ahead to fold this up and I'm going to notch the center, and after doing this I will repeat it on the other side. I will place and I'm going to notch the center also. So this is what I have after I'm done. So you're just going to go ahead to attach your cup to it, but before we attach the cup, I'm going to be sewing boning to this, but I'm just going to explain to you how to attach your cup. You're just going to place it at that notch part with the center of the cup and you're going to pin. Especially if you're finding it difficult to join your cup, it's best for you to pin. So when you place your cup and you notice the space you have is not enough, you're just going to notch the body of the corset this way and you're going to place it right back to the cup, and you're going to notice that your corset cup and the space you have is going to align. So you're also going to repeat it at the other side also. You're going to place and pin. So after pinning, you notice that this side is the same side and you're just going to stitch with half. But before we do that, I'm going to be creating a boning channel on this pattern. Please bear with me, my voice is not so clear this morning. So these are strips of fabric that I cut out and is about 1.5 inches. I'm going to place my tape, find the middle and rule a line. So on that notch part, you're going to rule a line also at the center of your corset, and you're going to create a line by the side. So this is where I will be creating my boning channels. And to do that, you're just going to place the fabric close to that mark you've made and you're going to stitch with ½ inch, fold it this way and then fold the other part with ½ inch and you're going to top stitch on it. So this is like the easiest way to create your boning channel without stress. Place again, stitch and turn with ½ inch. So I'll just be creating it for all the marks that I have made. So after I'm done creating my boning channels, this is what I have. And now you're going to go ahead to attach your cup just the way I showed you. You're going to pin your cup and you're going to place it at the center. That's the joining at the center will meet the notched part that we notched earlier at the center, and you're going to place and pin. So remember to notch the body of your cup if it doesn't suit the size of your cup. This is like the easiest way to go about this. So also this is the back of my corset, and I'm going to be turning it with the main fabric as my lining also. So I added ½ inch at the lower part on top and I ½ inch in front of the zipper. So what I'm going to do right now is to place, and I'm going to be stitching with ½ inch. So I'll just go to the machine, stitch with ½ inch round, and also repeat it on the other side. I'll stitch on the two sides and at the upper part. So after I'm done stitching my cup, this is what I have, and whatever I did to the main fabric, I did to the lining also. So these are strips of fabric I made. This is about 16 inches. I'll be using 1 inch to fix it at both sides. Sorry, what I'm going to do is at that part that I joined my cup, I'm going to place it on that part this way, and I'll make sure it's facing the front part. On that line that I joined my cup, that is where I'm going to pin the hand or the spaghetti straps that I made. On the other side also, I'll still take this, place it and pin it from that joining line. Where that joining line starts, that's where I'll pin my strap, and I'm going to put the sleeves inside. So now I'm going to go ahead and place the fabric the right side, facing the right side of the lining, and I'm going to make sure each part is matching, and after that I'm going to stitch with ½ inch. I'm going to stitch with ½ inch at the upper parts and also by the sides of my corset. And don't also forget to pin down to avoid your dress shifting while sewing. So after I'm done stitching, this is what I have, and the next thing is just to pass my boning into it. So I'm using a sewable boning and I'm going to pass it through it, and I'll be passing it through all my boning channels. You can go ahead to tape the mouth of your boning to avoid it poking. So whatever measurement I have on my boning channel, I'm going to take out like ½ inch so that I'm going to join it to the lower parts of my dress also. So I'm done passing my boning, and I'm just going to go ahead to place it on my back pattern. I'll just place it to show you what I have. Next we'll be working on the trouser part of this jumpsuit. So I'm going to stitch with ½ inch to the end, and after that I'll go ahead and fold the lower part of my trouser, and I'll also fold for the back. So I'm done stitching it together, and the next thing I'll do is just to go ahead and place this and join. But before I do that, I'll fold my fabric into two, and I'm going to get the middle and I'll go ahead to notch it. Now I'm going to take that notched part and place at the middle of where I joined my trouser. That's the notch part on the joining at the center of the trouser, and I will stitch with ½ inch. After I'm done stitching with ½ inch, this is what I have for this part, and the next thing is to work on the back of this dress. Moving over to the back of the dress, this is the back part of my trouser, and I mistakenly cut out 2 pieces of the same side, so I'll just go ahead and recut another piece. So I'm done cutting another piece, so I didn't have enough fabric, so I had to like join one part of the trouser. So now this is the back part. I place the right side of the fabric facing the right side. So the first thing I'll do is to go ahead and place my tape take note of the 1/2 inch for joining the trouser. Take note of 2 inches we took out at the upper part of the trouser. So after that 2.5 inches, I'll place my tape, measure about 7 inches to 6 inches, and I'll go ahead to stitch the trouser with 1/2 inch. So after I'm done stitching, this is what I have. And remember, we added that space for the back of the trouser, and if you notice, the waistline is not really aligning, and I will go ahead to fold into 2, and I will stitch with 1/2 and create a dart about 3 inches. The depth of the that is about 3 inches, and I'm just going to go ahead to stitch it. And on the other side also, I'm going to repeat the same process. So after I'm done stitching, this is what I have, and I'm just going to go ahead and place and stitch with 1/2 inch. After I'm done stitching, I'll just go ahead and insert my zipper at the back. So because I use 1/2 inch at the lower part of my trouser, I'll just insert my zip with 1/2 inch at the upper part. So now I'm going to be turning my jumpsuit. I'm going to be joining my jumpsuit together. So for the pocket, I'll be cutting it while I'm joining. So for the hand, you're just going to go ahead and top stitch it with like 1 inch at the back. So after you're done joining with 1 inch in front and 1 inch at the back, you're going to have like 14 inches. So this is what I have. I've cut out this material is about 7 inches and 10 inches long. So we are going to be creating the pockets for the trouser. I'm just doing a simple pocket, so I'm just going to cut out this shape, give it a little shape at the lower part, and on the other side also I'm going to do this. And I have about 4 pieces, which is 2 piece for one side of the trouser and 2 piece for the other side of the trouser. So now I'm going to be joining the pockets to my trouser, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my tape and take note of that 2 inches we took out, and after that I will be placing my pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and place the right side facing the right side, and I'm going to pin it up. Sorry, that part did not show very well. I didn't notice that while filming. And also on the other part also, on the other side also, I'm going to go ahead and measure that 2 inches starting from the waistline, and after that I'm going to place my pockets. So I'm going to be placing the straight part on this part. That curvy part is going to be going inside, and I'm going to stitch with 1/2 inch. On the back pattern also, I'm going to repeat the same process, bring the back, and I'm going to measure 2 inches from the waistline, and I'm going to place my pocket right side of the fabric facing the right side, and I'm going to stitch it up with 1/2 inch. On the other side of the waist also, I'm going to measure about 2 inches, place it right side facing the right side, and I'm going to stitch with 1/2 inch. After stitching with 1/2 inch, this is what I have on both sides. Now the next step you're going to take is I'm going to place the back pattern facing the front pattern. That's the right pattern of the dress facing the right pattern of the dress. And now before you start stitching, you're going to make sure that your pockets align. Is very important. That's why I made sure I measure 2 inches at both sides. So you can as well pin it to avoid your pocket shifting. So you're going to make sure it aligns. Is very, very important. And also on the trouser, you're going to make sure it aligns very well. You're going to go ahead and pin down your trouser. So I'm going to go ahead to place my measurement So my shoulder to under bust is 12 inches. I will take note of that and place my tape and mark my shoulder to bust point, which is 9. Mark my shoulder to waistline on this line. If you notice, it came down at the trouser. So now you're going to place and you're going to measure all through. So what I have at this point is 18.5 inches, and my bust circumference is 33. Divided by 2, I have 16.5. So 18.5 minus 16.5, I have 2 inches. I'll be sharing that 2 inches, which is 1 inch at both sides. So at the armhole, I'll just go in a bit, slide in a bit so that it will be tight. And at the under bust, what I have is 16 inches, and my under bust circumference is 28. Divided by 2, I have 14. 16 minus 14, I have 2 inches. I'll be sharing 1 inch at both sides. So at the waist side, I'm just going to go ahead and also measure what I have there, and I have 15 inches. So why I have 15 inches, remember we cut it on the trouser side, and the trouser allowance is 1 inch. Dividing by 2, that is half on both sides. So I'm just going to mark that ½ inch on both sides and connect it down to that point. Then from that ½ inch I went down from my waistline. I'm just going to go ahead to place and go in by ½ inch at my trouser around the pocket side and stitch on this other side. So this is why I said you should make sure your pockets are lined. From that point, I'm going to follow the ½ inch and I'm going to go down to the lower part of the trouser also. So whatever I repeat on this part, I'm going to also repeat on the other side of the trouser also. So I'll also go ahead to mark that ½ inch round the pocket so that you're not going to be confused. So you just mark that ½ inch, you're going to stitch, follow that ½ inch into the pocket. So at the center of the trouser, you're going to go ahead and place your trouser, make sure it's meeting, and I'm just going to stitch with ½ inch. So this is a palazzo jumpsuit and it's a free jumpsuit. All you have to do is stitch with ½ inch. So with this, I'm going to show you my final look. So after I'm done sewing, this is what I have, and with this we have come to the end of today's tutorial. Please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and see you in our next video. Thanks.